cursed witch from another dimension. She is also a poet, and so she is going to write poems for the 3 different readings you just heard. Presented and dusted throughout the evening.
Stardust.
So yeah, Stardust, very good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling warm to you tonight.
Not that warm.
Okay, so another mandate from the Institute that we are beholden to is that we have to answer a research question. We're doing research, we've all researched our topics extensively. So the research question that we will have answered by the end of the evening is the Zodiac complete bullshit? So, yes, let's start the show, everybody! Our first contributor comes to us all the way from Madison. You're from somewhere else too, right? Milwaukee! It's all sad. But he lives here now. We're happiest reign supreme. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Eric Mata!
Don't judge my poem because I'm from Wisconsin. This poem doesn't have a title yet, but since it's the first poem, I'll call it the first poem. He's the oldest friend I got. Known each other for 30 years, we were BFFs in kindergarten. Dodgeball buddies, rather, he was my dodgeball savior. Would jump in front of red dimple ball while I cowered, covering my head and other important parts. He had point guard hands even at that age. Shipped off to private school in the 3rd grade. His parents thought it best because it's hard to be a kid when the South Side haunts the man out of you by high school. We lost touch for almost 10 years. Reconnect when my new best friend introduces Dave as his cousin. The stars align the 3 of us like Orion's belt. We pick up where we left off like our friendship was a chess game we shelved. The only thing different is the name we go by. He calls me Big E for obvious reasons. I call him Bone, his father's nickname. Born under the first sign, ruled by Mars and fire, Bone wore his sign like a fitted. Courageous, independent, strong, golden, self-reliant, masculine. Traits he only hinted at when the Southern made him comfortable enough. This became more apparent 2 years ago when he had a run-in with a cancer. Not the kind born between June 21st and July 22nd, but the kind birthed from the inside out. The kind that eats its way through the body like piranhas, ravaging everything that reminds us how to love and be loved. The kind that changes bodies, rendered unrecognizable, makes our photos and memories obsolete. Amy was diagnosed shortly after the birth of their 2nd child. Hormone-induced. They've worn pink in some fashion ever since. 2 years remission. It begins its 2nd ascent last spring. Optional double mastectomy. She wanders near death to save her life. Wants to see her children grow up, she says. Bone was born under the first sign. Ruled by Mars and fire. By courage and independence, by strength and self-reliance, by the masculine. He's become what he's supposed to. His reactions scripted by the placement of the sun at his birth. He hasn't cried since the diagnosis, but he's taught me how to love, how to be married, how to raise children, how to make things work, how to laugh, how to be strong. I wish I could show him the joys of crying. How it feels to let them run like wild horses galloping across your skin. How the tears he keeps to himself flood his memories of her, washing them away like New Orleans homes. I want to tell him that if he were to cry, every time he ran his fingers across her scars, he could erase them, stitch by stitch, and be reminded of everything she is, everything that made him fall in love with her, preserved in the brine of his tears. But Dave, aka Bone, aka my best friend, who's worn a pink wristband for the past 2 years, who I haven't seen cry in that same amount of time, is ruled by fire and Mars, by strength and courage, by the masculine. He's doing what he's supposed to because the stars have said so. Woo!